Hello friends, I hope you are all doing good. So welcome to ArivuPro Academy. So in this video, we are going to quickly discuss or do question paper analysis on your taxation paper, which was held during this September 2024. So quickly, we are going to see what was there in this question paper, what are the different questions which were asked, and how I should have attended this question, etc. So quickly, without wasting any time, we will start this discussion. What I'll do is MCQ part. So as you all know, our question paper is in your taxation. The taxation paper is for 100 marks. This is divided into two uh, topics, which is direct tax and indirect tax. Both are for 50 marks, correct? So direct taxes 30-70 ratio, and indirect taxes also we have 30-70 ratio, meaning what, sir? 15 marks will be MCQ from direct taxes as well as indirect taxes. So totally 30 marks MCQ will be there. What I'll do, MCQ part I'll discuss in detail, and the descriptive part which is there, I'll just tell the provisions with respect to those topics which are there and those questions which has been asked. What are the respective provisions? I'll discuss those points, and this is how we are going to do this question paper analysis. I hope you are all ready, and I hope your paper went very well. You can also now cross check how well your question paper went. Okay, so let us straight away start this discussion. So first, part A is your MCQ part. So MCQ part, now whenever there is I'll just give you a hint for those students who have already written the examination. This is not for you, but for those students who are going to write their examination in near future, maybe January, May, etc. How to answer these questions when it is a case study based question. Now normally there are two types of people. One person who reads this, okay, who reads this case study and goes to the question, correct, and he will go to the question and answer those questions. But I normally tell my students to do it ulta, to do it reverse. What do you mean by do it reverse, sir? I normally tell my students to first just see what are the different questions which is asked in MCQ. So first question they have asked, what is effective date of registration, what is the value of what is consignment value, what is the due date of filing of final returns, and so there are totally four questions in this. So what is the due date of filing final return? Yeah, so there are totally three questions in case number one. So I normally say my students that please read the questions first and then read the case. So by this, what is going to happen? Now I know that there are three things which they are asking in the question. What is the consignment value, what is the effective date of registration, and what is the date within which I should file my final return. So now when I will read this case, no, I will be reading this case keeping in point of view what is asked in the question, or else there are a lot of story which they would have written, and this story is something which is of no use to us. So something which is of no use to us, if you are reading that and if you are wasting your time in understanding what is not useful to you, that will waste your time in examination. You just get 15 minutes time before starting to write your paper. So this is how you should start. So now I know what is asked in the question. I'll read the question now. Pawan was engaged in providing various services within the state of Rajasthan since May 2023. Okay, his aggregate turnover crossed the threshold limit on 4th of July 2023. So the threshold limit for the state of Rajasthan is 20 lakh rupees and he is dealer of services. So 20 lakh rupees, his turnover has crossed 20 lakh rupees. He has applied for registration on 2nd of August 2023. So what is the provision telling? Once your aggregate turnover crosses this specific prescribed limit, then you should apply for registration. Section 25 says you should apply for registration within 30 days of becoming liable. So I was liable for registration on 4th of July, and I applied for registration on 2nd of August. So if I apply for registration within 30 days, and if that registration is granted to me, then for me the effective date of registration will be what, sir? The effective date of registration will be the date of liable for registration. So when was I liable for registration? 4th of July I was liable for registration. So answer for this question is 4th of July. Now because I knew what is asked in the question, by reading the first points I can tell my answer. After taking the registration, Pawan started the business across in India, including supply of goods. He dispatched the goods on pan India. See, now I told, no, why, sir, reading question is important first, because this is a story. If you break your head on this story, this information is not required only for my questions which is asked, correct? So this is a story. Now I'll see what is next. what is the next point which is given? He received an order from Delhi for which he supplied taxable goods valuing 45,000 rupees, and the GST rate is 12% on these goods. He also supplied exempted goods valuing 4,000 rupees. He made one invoice for both taxable as well as exempted supply. Now, the second question which was asked was, what is the consignment value? So now, what do you mean by consignment value? Consignment value means the value, the value of supply as per section 15 plus taxes under GST, but it shall not include the value of exempt supplies. So, what is the value? As per section 15, it is 45,000. 15, it is 45,000 plus taxes under GST is 12%. So if I add 45,000 plus 12%, it comes to 50,400. And I should not take this 4,000 rupees, that is value of exempt supply, while computing the consignment value. So what is the consignment value? The consignment value is 50,400 rupees. I hope you are understanding how fast it becomes when you know what is asked in the question. Now we'll see the next point. He asked his tax consultant for requirement of generation of e-way bill for this. The tax consultant informed him that the requirement of e-way bill is based on the consignment value. See, all this is story. This is not required for my questions which is asked. Because the first question was, what is the effective date of registration? My effective date of registration is point number B. What is consignment value? 50,400. And the last question says, when should I file my final return? So directly we'll go to that point. All the information in between is useless to us. It is to confuse you guys, correct? So normally I recommend my students to read the questions first and then read the case, so that your brain will start working on that question only. Now, even being a micro, see, this is a story now. Even being a micro enterprises, Pawan did not receive timely payment from his customer, as a result of which he ran into a severe crash course and eventually could not make the on-time payment. See, all this information is useless for us. He could not make the payment. He did not receive the information. See, here the topic is, say I went and proposed a girl. Now, how did I go? Which rose did I take? How much did I pay for the rose? That is all not required at all. Did she accept my proposal or not? That is what is relevant for us. So let us directly go to that point. Now, while shutting down the business, so because he could not make the payment, he decided to shut down his business. While shutting down the business, he informed his tax consultant to cancel the registration. Okay. Tax consultant surrendered his registration on 25th of October 23, and his application for cancellation was approved by the officer on 31st of October 2023. Now, what is the provision telling, sir? What is the provision telling? What is the provision telling with respect to final return? Now, here the question is with respect to final return. What is the provision telling? Final return is required to be filed within 3 months from the date of cancellation or from the date of application for cancellation, whichever is later. So, within 3 months from which date will I take, sir? Within 3 months from 31st of October. So, within 3 months of this date, it comes to what, sir? October, November, December, January. 31st of January is the right answer for the next question. Okay, so these are the answers for the first 3 questions, and obviously see it is for 2 marks. So that means what, sir? This question carries 6 marks. That means 1 mark will be for your right answer and 1 mark will be the provision which I told that you will have to write that provision. Okay, that extra 1 mark you will get for the provision. Truth is God, a religious trust under section 12W of Income Tax Act provided services by way of renting of premises within the pursuance of religious payment. It is exempt up to how much, sir? If you are renting premises within the pursuance of religious, if you are renting any premises within the pursuance of religious premises, religious place, then it will be exempt if the value is how much, sir? If the value is up to rupees 10,000 rupees per day. If the value is how much, sir? Up to rupees 10,000, up to rupees 10,000 per day. Up to how much, sir? Up to 10,000 rupees per day. And sir, what if it is, say if you give rooms on rent, if it is room, then up to rupees 1,000 per day. And if you give Kalyana Mandapa, it is up to rupees 10,000 per day. Correct? But if you are renting premises, and how much is the value, sir? 10,000 rupees per day is the amount. 10,000 rupees per day is the right answer for this case. Then Smithy Limited, S Limited made outward supply of garment at an agreed price of 5 lakh rupees. The company charged Go Green Cess. The company charge was, sir, Go Green Cess, which is levied by municipal authority. How much was it? 10,000 rupees. As the customer made the payment within 3 days from the date of delivery, Smithy Limited provided him discount of 5,000 rupees separately as customer friendly measure. Okay, now 5 lakh is my value, transaction value. I will add all taxes except the taxes under GST law, which is I'll add this 10,000 rupees, because inclusions in value of supply section 15 subsection 2 clause A says you should add that in value of supply, and exclusion from value of supply. Discount will be excluded from value of supply if it is given at the time of supply. Then if it is shown separately, it will be excluded, and if it is given after the supply has been made, then 3 conditions should be satisfied. Now by reading the question, we understand that because she made the payment within 3 days, she gave a discount. So this discount is given after supply. So if discount is given after supply, it will be excluded from value of supply only if all the 3 conditions are satisfying. What are the 3 conditions? It should be agreed between supplier and recipient, it should be linked to specific invoice, and ITC with respect to the discount amount should be reversed. Now what is the point telling? This discount was given even though there was no prior agreement. So condition specified under section 15 subsection 3 is not satisfied. Therefore, will this discount be excluded from value of supply? Answer is no, sir. This discount will not be excluded from value of supply. Therefore, our answer value of supply in the present case is how much, sir? 5,10,000, which is 5,10,000 rupees of cess. 5,10,000 is the right answer. So this is also for 2 marks. You will have to write the provision along with this. Next, case number 2. Case scenario number 2. Now, normally I have a practice of reading the question first and then going to case. So they have asked you what is the net annual value. So by seeing this only, I know that the question is about house property. What is the deduction of interest which will be allowed, and what they have asked, sir, and they have asked what is the total income of this person. Fantastic question. Okay, let us see what this question is telling. Miss Prerna, Miss Prerna is having a residential house property in Nagpur, okay, of which 1/3 is self-occupied and 2/3 is let out for commercial purpose for a monthly rent of 12,000 rupees. So monthly rent which she is charging is 12,000 rupees. Fair rent of this house is 30,000 per month. Municipal value is 2,40,000, and standard rent as per Rent Control Act is 3 lakh rupees. Municipal taxes is 10% of municipal value, which is paid by her on 30th July 2023. Now before going further, let me just tell you one point. So this is a case of, say this is a house property which she has, wherein what has happened, sir? 1/3 is self-occupied by her and 2/3 is let out by her. Correct, not correct? So can I say this is a case of partly let out, partly self-occupied area wise? This is a case of partly let out, partly self-occupied area wise. Now what is the provision says, sir? Whenever it is a partly let out, partly self-occupied area wise, then everything, municipal value, fair rent, standard rent, municipal taxes, etc., everything you will have to take proportionately based on the area of let out and self-occupied, meaning only for let out portion it will be taxable. So for example, in the present case, municipal value is 2,40,000. So how much will I take for my computation purpose? 2,40,000 into 2 divided by 3, which is 1,16,000. Okay, this is what the provision is telling. I will not break too much into provision, or else unnecessary it will create a confusion for you if you don't know the provision. Then she took, okay, so we have read the question till here. She took a loan of 45 lakhs for the construction of this house on 1st of April 2021. She took the loan. She repaid the entire loan along with interest on 30th June 2023. So current year she has repaid the loan. Total the interest on loan was 10%. 10% was the interest amount, and the construction was completed on 30th June 2022. Please note, loan was taken on 1st April 21 and the construction was completed on 30th June 2022. Problem is there. What is the problem over here, sir? What is the problem? Here the concept of pre-construction period interest will come. Here the concept of pre-construction period will come, interest will come. Please note, one of the questions which they have asked in the question is, what is the interest deduction which will be allowed? Here the concept of pre-construction period interest will come, because what is pre-construction period interest? The interest which is paid by you for for the years before the year in which construction was completed. Construction was completed in the year 22-23. So before this, whatever interest is paid by you, that is pre-construction period interest. Anyways, let me tell you the answer straight away. She earns other income of 2 lakh rupees. So she has other income of 2 lakh rupees. This other income is required for finding your total income. During the previous year 23-24, she wishes to opt for she wishes to opt for what, sir? Default regime. She wants to opt for 115 BAC. What is 115 BAC telling with respect to this point? 115 BAC says if it is a self-occupied property, interest deduction will not be allowed. For self-occupied property, interest deduction will not be allowed. So proportionately, whatever interest is there for the current year, no, you should divide that interest for let out as well as self-occupied. For self-occupied, that interest deduction will not be allowed. Only for let out, the interest deduction will be allowed. So first question is, what is net annual value? What is the net annual value over here, sir? Sir, municipal value is 2.4 lakh. Fair rent is how much, sir? Fair rent is 3.6 lakhs. Whichever is higher is 3.6 lakh. Compare that with standard rent, which is 3 lakh rupees. Whichever is less is standard rent of 3 lakh rupees. Now, compare that with my actual rent 1.44 lakhs, which is 12,000 into 12 months. Whichever is higher will be my gross annual value. Now please note, this 3 lakh rupees over here is for the entire property. I should take proportionately only for let out portion. 3 lakh into 2 divided by 3, which is 2 lakh rupees. This will come to 2 lakh rupees. So my gross annual value will be equal to 2 lakh rupees. From this I will subtract municipal taxes. How much is municipal taxes? 2,40,000 is the total municipal value into 10%, 24,000. This is for the entire property. I should take proportionately only for let out purpose, into 2 divided by 3. So this will come to 16,000 rupees. So now what is my net annual value, sir? My net annual value is 2 lakh minus 16,000, which is 1,84,000. So whoever has got this answer of 1,84,000 has given the right answer. Next, they have asked what is the total interest deduction. What is the total interest deduction? Please note, current year they repaid the loan on which date, sir? They repaid the entire loan on 30th June 2023. So for current year, the interest, so 45 lakhs is the loan amount and 10% is the interest rate. For current year, the interest will be charged only for 3 months. It will be charged only for 3 months. So this is for current year. Current year meaning previous year 23-24. This is the interest for the current year, 45 lakhs into 10%, 4,50,000 into 3 divided by 12. So current year interest comes to 1,12,500. Now this will be divided between two people. Which are these two people, sir? For self-occupied and for let out purpose. So let out is 2/3 and self-occupied is 1/3. So let out will be how much? Into 2 divided by 3. So 75,000 is for let out. Okay. Now self-occupied I will ignore because he has selected default regime. Now apart from that, now sir, 75,000 limit is not there in the question at all, sir. So is your answer wrong? Wait. I told you there is also a concept of pre-construction period interest. So the loan was taken on 1st April 21. Till 31st of March 22, whatever interest was there, that interest will be called as pre-construction period interest, which comes to 45 lakhs into 10%, 4,50,000. Now this interest you can take benefit over a period of 5 years, over a period of 5 years. So how much will it come, sir? 4.5 lakhs divided by 5 years, which is equal to 90,000 rupees per annum you can take for a period of 5 years. So to this interest, I am going to add how much? 90,000 rupees. So total interest deduction which I can claim is 90,000 plus 75,000. Again, this 90,000 into 2 divided by 3. So this 90,000 is for the entire property into 2 divided by 3, 60,000 plus 75,000. It will come to 1,35,000 is the right answer. Okay, for the second question, what is the right answer, sir? 1,35,000. Now 1,35,000. Last question which they have asked over here is what is the total income? What is the total? No, wait. This is this different question. So last question which they have asked is what is the total income of this person, sir? Now what is the total income? So I know what is my net annual value. What is my net annual value? First, I'll find my income from house property. My net annual value is 1,84,000. Correct? Not correct? From this, I will subtract 30% standard deduction. 1,84,000 into 0.3 is 55,200. And this from this I'll subtract interest. How much is the interest amount? 1,35,000. So minus 1,84,000. So it comes to 6,200 negative. Loss of 6,200 is coming. I'll just recheck is 1,84,000 minus 30% minus 1,35,000. It comes to 6,200 negative. It comes to what, sir? 6,200 negative. So what is my total income? So I have income from house property, and they say I have other income of how much? 2 lakh rupees. So that other income, since we don't know the head, which head we will put that, sir? In income from other sources, 2 lakh rupees. Now, can this loss be set off, sir? Can this loss be set off? Because he has opted for default regime, because he has selected 115 BSc, loss cannot be set off. Therefore, his total income is 2 lakh rupees. The right answer is option number A. I hope this point is very clear to you all, guys. I hope this point is very clear to you all. Now, next question is case number 3. Before reading the case number 3, I'll just see the options of case number 3. Options of case number 3, there are totally 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there are totally 3 points. So question number 9 to question number 11, you should answer as per the above case. What is the total income? Okay, total income. Which of the following statement is correct in respect of deductions? Okay, so there is a question on total income, there is a question on deductions. And what is the requirement for TDS by game.com in respect of such winnings by this size? So TDS on I think this is online money games. Okay, what is the TDS requirement? So now directly I'll read the question. I don't have to break head only anywhere. Directly I will read the question and tell the answer, because I know whatever information is not useful to me, I will delete that information. Now, Mr. Desai is 52-year-old. Okay, he is an Indian resident. Oh, fantastic. He is an Indian resident. He's a resident person. Okay, he gives the following information relating to previous year 23-24. Okay, profit from the business carried out in Dubai, controlled from Dubai, amount also received in Dubai. Oh. Are inge par students? Are students inge pa. What is this question telling? This question says he is doing business in Dubai and it is controlled from Dubai, and that money is also received in Dubai. Sir, everything is happening in Dubai. Is this income taxable in India, sir? Is this income taxable in India? Or is this income taxable in India? I know whatever answer you are telling, no, it is wrong. Whatever answer you are telling is wrong. Why, sir? Is this income taxable in India? Answer is yes, this income is taxable in India. Why, sir? Because he is a resident person. Sir, why is it taxable in India, sir? Because he is a resident person. If you are a resident person, then your global global income is taxable in India. If you are a resident person, then your global income will be taxable in India. Therefore, this entire 13,10,000 will be taxable in India. And then the question also says he has a loss of business in Delhi. What is the loss amount, sir? 4,50,000. Okay. So he has totally 2 businesses. One business is in Dubai, which profitable business, and Indian business is a loss-making business. During financial year 23-24, he also paid some online games. On a particular Indian website called as game.com. Game.com is manufacturer of men's shirt. During the year, Mr. Desai won 6 shirts. Okay, so he played some game. Because he played the game, he got how many shirts, sir? He got 6 shirts. The cost of manufacturing of these shirts is 3,000 per piece, and the company sells this shirt for 60,000 per piece, excluding GST. However, to play such game, he deposited 50,000 rupees with the website, which is refundable. We are least bothered about what is the amount which is deposited by me. Now, what is the TDS provision telling? Because there is a point with respect to TDS. What is TDS provision telling? Whatever amount you are winning, on that 30% TDS should be deducted. Sir, but here though you have not won the amount, no sir. Here though you have won 6 shirt, no sir. So sir, how will you deduct TDS in case of shirt? Sir, will you cut say this, what is that called as, I hope you are understanding my feeling. So 30%, will you deduct 15% from this side, 15% this side, and only this part of shirt will be given? Is it like that, sir? Or will the shirt cut into half? 30% of the shirt will be cut and given? No. Now in this case, since the winnings are in what, sir? Since the winnings are in other than money cases, correct? So since the winnings are in kind, the person should make sure that before these shirts are gifted, the TDS has been deducted. The TDS has been paid to the government. So in this case, how much will the TDS amount come to? 6 shirts into 10,000 rupees. Why is that 10,000 rupees? Why are you not taking the cost? Because see, this the sale price of this shirts is 10,000 rupees. So the amount on which TDS should be deducted is 10,000. So 60,000 rupees into 30%. So how much is the TDS? 18,000 rupees TDS should be deducted. Then next point says, on 23rd May 23, he gifted listed equity shares in an Indian company to his son's daughter. Oh, son's daughter. Okay. Shania. These shares were purchased by him on 1/4/2020 for 65,000. The market value on the date of transfer of these shares was 1 lakh rupees. Okay. Sanaya sold these shares for a consideration of 50,000 rupees. So this information will be required for computation of total income anyways. Okay. So now please note what has happened over here. There is gifting. So to whom have you gifted, sir? You have gifted to your relative. Son's daughter is treated as relative. Okay. Son's daughter is treated as relative. Son's daughter will be treated as relative. This dot some stories they have given anyways. He had taken a loan of 25 lakh rupees. 1 second. One second, students. Okay. He had taken a loan of 25,000 for purchase of electric vehicle on 1/4/2022 from scheduled bank. 5 lakh was the interest which he has paid. So electric vehicle interest allowed is up to 1.5 lakhs. Now he opts to be governed by default. He's selecting what option, sir? He's selecting what tax regime? He's selecting default tax regime. He's selecting default tax regime. That means what, sir? You will not get any benefit of deductions. You will not get any benefit of deductions. Correct? Not correct? Now, what is the total income of this person? Total income will be 13 lakh 10,000 minus, you can take the benefit of business loss, which comes to 8 lakh 60,000 rupees. Then you have your lottery income of 60,000. So plus 60,000 rupees lottery income. So your answer will come to 9 lakh 20,000 rupees. Your answer will come to how much, sir? 9 lakh 20,000 rupees. Now deduction. What is correct in deduction? Can he claim deduction? Because he has selected default regime, he cannot take any deduction. He is not eligible for any deduction under chapter 6A irrespective of tax regime opted. No, this is not correct. He is eligible for deduction of 150. He is eligible for deduction. He is eligible for deduction of 50,000 in respect of interest only if he opts out of default regime. He is eligible for 1,50,000 in respect of interest only if he opts out of correct. So option C is correct. So what is this point telling, sir? What is true in the below? So because he has opted for default regime, 115 BAC you won't get any deduction under chapter 6A. So what is the third statement? Whatever third statement is telling, that is right. He shall be eligible for deduction of 1,50,000 in respect of interest on loan only if he opts out of default regime. And then what is the TDS provision? What is the requirement of deduction of TDS by game and company? Game and company needs to deduct TDS of, so how much is the amount? 18,000 is the amount, correct? 60,000 into 30%. So which is 18,000 has to deduct TDS. There is no requirement of TDS. Okay, so option number B is the right answer. Option number B is the right answer for this question. Students, I hope you are enjoying. I hope you are enjoying. Do comment whether you are enjoying or not. Please comment. Please comment. Your comment will motivate us to make more and more videos like this. Okay, anyways, let us continue. During the year 23-24, Mrs. Kalia. Mrs. Kalia. Nice. Kalia is the person, I thought. Okay. Okay. Please note, Chota Bhim Kalia, don't take reference. Okay. He is Mr. Kalia. Mrs. Kalia, 65-year-old lady, received 10,50,000 as family pension. Okay. She had to spend 26,000 to get such income towards documentation and processing. Okay. Time pass. This is because in case of family pension, 15,000 rupees or 1/3 of the pension, whichever is less, will be allowed as deduction. She does not have any other income. Assuming she opts for default tax regime, here also problem is there. Whenever there is this default tax regime, no, a lot of benefit will be taken by the government. One of the benefit is that you will not be eligible to claim deduction of this 15,000 rupees or I hope I am correct, by the way. If you are going for default tax regime, you will not get this benefit of 15,000 rupees or 1/3 of family pension. I'll just cross check it. Family pension deduction is not available in case of default tax regime. So what is my total income, sir? Sundris, Kalia's total income is how much? 10,50,000 rupees. Okay, anyways, next point. Mr. Sundaram owns 2 residential house property in Chennai, one of which is used by him and his family for residence. So there is 2 property, house property 1, house property 2. House property 1 is self-occupied. Okay. And both and house property 2 is let out property. Both of these houses are exactly identical and expected rent municipal value is also same. Both are also same. He has let out another house for 1,15,000 rupees per month. Nice rent he is receiving, 1,15,000 rupees. He took a loan on these houses on 1st of April 22. The stamp duty value is 30 lakh rupees of this house. During financial year 23-24, he paid 4 lakh rupees as interest for each of this house. 4 lakh rupees for house 1 and 4 lakh rupees for house 2 has paid the interest. He does not have any other income. He did not file his income tax return within time limit. What shall be his total income chargeable to tax? So normally, see, actually this question is with respect to set off and carry forward of losses. Now, what is the provision with respect to set off and carry forward of losses telling? You should file your income tax return within the due date if you want to carry forward your losses. Correct? Not correct? But this provision is not applicable. If you want to set off or carry forward your losses, you will have to file your income tax return within the due date. But this provision is not applicable for unabsorbed depreciation and house property income. Correct? Not correct? So in case of house property income and in case of unabsorbed depreciation, there is no requirement to file the return within the due date. Even if I file after the due date, you can carry forward what, sir? You can carry forward your losses. So what is the answer over here? So self-occupied property, there will be a loss of 4 lakh rupees, and for and for let out property, since they have given rent of 1,15,000 rupees, 1,15,000 into 12, so it comes to 13,80,000. This is my GAV. So since they have not given any information about municipal taxes, let us say municipal taxes is 0. So this into 30% will be standard deduction of 141,000, and he will also get an interest deduction of 4 lakh rupees. 3,80,000 minus 3,80,000 minus 4,14,000 minus 4 lakh rupees. So let out property income is how much, sir? 5,66,000. Now self-occupied loss is 4 lakh rupees. I hope you all know for self-occupied property, maximum loss which you can take is how much, sir? 2 lakh rupees. Maximum interest deduction which you can take is how much, sir? 2 lakh rupees. Though the interest is 4 lakh rupees, maximum interest deduction I can take is only 2 lakh rupees. So I'll set off this and my net income will become 3.66 lakhs. So 3.66 lakhs is the right answer. 3.66 lakh is the right answer in this case. Next. Case number 4. So these two questions, case number 2 and 3 was with respect to your income tax. Case number 1 was with respect to GST. Now case number 4, obviously it should be with respect to GST. Now I'll directly go to questions. Question number 14 to question number 16. Tax liability of Veena, you have to find. Tax liability of Veena for the month of July is rupees dash under CGST and SGST. Importation of services will be treated as supply to the value of how much is importation of services, and Veena is eligible to take input tax credit on stocks and capital goods as on which date? Okay, not okay. Let us directly jump into the question. Now by seeing the questions only, I will now be able to answer by reading the case. Messrs. Veena and Company of Jabalpur was registered under GST law under composition scheme. Oh, it is registered under composition scheme. Outward supply for July is 10 lakh rupees. Out of which 2 lakh rupees is supply of services. So this 10 lakhs include 2 lakh rupees of supply of services. In preceding financial year, the firm was trading in goods only. The turnover of the concern for the for the preceding financial year was 100 lakh rupees. No problem at all. No problem till now. No problem till now. So current year turnover is 10 lakh rupees. They have told. Previous year, whatever story they have given that story. The firm imported the following services during the August 2023. So August 23, they have imported this architect services from Vinod, a partner of a firm who resides in France, for 1 lakh rupees. The said services was paid but not used for business purpose. I don't care if you are importing any services, and if it is imported for a consideration, then it is treated as supply, whether it is imported for your business purpose or not. I don't care. So this is treated as importation of services. 1 lakh rupees is treated as importation of services. Therefore you have to pay the taxes under reverse charge. Management consultancy services was imported from Mr. Lal, a renowned lawyer in Sweden, who is ex-employee. Ex-employee is not a related person. He is not a related person. If you are ex-employee, you are not a related person. The value of the said services was 3 lakh rupees. Even though it was used for business purpose, no consideration was paid. If no consideration was paid, it is not a supply. So in the present case, the second question, can I give the answer for second question? What is the value of services? The value of importation of services is 1 lakh rupees. Aggregate turnover of the firm crossed 1,50,000 on 25th of September 2023. On 25th September 2023, your aggregate turnover crossed 1.5 crore rupees or 150 lakhs. From which date the firm was liable to pay tax under regular scheme. Yeah, we know once your aggregate turnover crosses the specified limit, section 10 subsection 3 says your composition scheme shall lapse. If your composition scheme is lapsing, then you will have to pay the taxes at regular scheme, regular rates. All the amounts given above are exclusive for taxes all the amount are excluding taxes. All the supplies referred to are intrastate supplies. So what is the tax liability for the month of July? So what is my sale for the July month, sir? Sale for July month is 10 lakh rupees into, if you are a composition dealer, then for you the tax rate will be 0.5% of so you are a trader. They have told that you are a trader, so it is 0.5% of turnover in the state. So 5%, which is how much, sir? 5,000 rupees CGST and 5,000 rupees SGST. Answer 2 is right. Okay, second case, we have given the answer. What is the total ITC which she can take? Now, please note, this is section 18 provision. Special circumstances. I input tax credit in case of special circumstances. Section 18 subsection 1 clause C says if a composition dealer becomes a regular dealer, he will be eligible to take input tax credit on whatever inputs is held by him or whatever capital goods is held by him 1 day prior to the date of change. So when did the change happen? When did he convert himself, sir? 25th of September. So 24th of September 23, whatever inputs and capital goods he has, he can take input tax credit on that, which is first option is the right option. Fantastic. Now, I think this is all about MCQ. Next comes section A, which is your object, the descriptive questions. If you see, I took maybe around 40 minutes to I mean it is 38 minutes. So in that I did some time pass also in between. Say, let us say around 35 minutes I took to complete 30 marks, meaning 1 minute I took to complete 1 mark. 30 marks in 30 minutes. Fantastic it is. 30 marks in 30 minutes. Are students, this is the beauty. 30 marks in 30. When you revise the provisions properly, when you read the provision, see, reading is fine, attending the class is fine, but revision is very important. The more you revise, the more you will be able to remember the provision. Why am I able to answer this in 30 minutes, sir? Because I know the provision. I have revised the provision so many times. Correct, not correct? So in this case, 30 minutes. Let us say you take 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, if you are able to complete 30 marks, that is very good. That is very good for your examination. You will be very confident that you now have 2 hours 15 minutes to get additional for writing 70 marks, and you need only 20 marks to clear the examination, 30 marks to get the exemption. And please note, if you are my student, I have always told you, irrespective of how easy the question paper is, I have always told my student this, irrespective of how easy the question paper is, always start with GST. Always start with GST, because GST is very easy to answer. It is very easy to answer. You don't have to apply your too much brain. There is no different schemes of this default regime, this regime, that regime. There is no linkage of provision. So same I will follow here also. I will first start with GST, and you will see that GST, maybe we'll discuss GST part maybe in 15-20 minutes. And for discussing of this income tax, we may take more time, because income tax, there is linkage of provisions there. Okay. So now we are entering part 2 of your question paper, which is descriptive types questions or practical questions. I hope you have enjoyed this, students. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this till now, you will definitely enjoy it going forward also. Section A is for income tax. As I told you, I'll start with GST first, because this is how I teach my students, and I want to follow the same procedure, because I want you all, say whoever is watching this video, irrespective of how you have studied this subject, this is how you should answer in examination. That is what I'm teaching over here. It is I am least bothered about whether whatever question is given, whether you have answered this question or not, or how will I answer, etc. That is not what is important. Now, for the students who are going to write their examination in future, how should I approach my question paper? What is that which I should take care first? Then what is that which I should write next, etc. I told you again, I'll tell you, irrespective of how easy income tax is, please start with GST. Please start with GST. And please note, though when I'm discussing from question number 1, you need not start with question number 1. Say for example, question number 5 is first question of GST, but you know this question well, you start with this question, no problem in this. Okay. So first question is for 10 marks, fantastic question. Obviously GST questions will normally be easy. D Limited is registered supplier of goods and services in Pune, Maharashtra. He has furnished the following details for the month of January 2024. Okay, for month of January he has given. The turnover of D Limited is 3.2 crores for last year. Okay, meaning he is not a composition dealer. He is a regular dealer, regular registered person having a turnover more than 1.5 crores. That is, his turnover is around 3.2 crores. So he has made an intrastate supply of 5 lakh rupees. So can I say it is a taxable supply, sir? Yes, it is a taxable supply. F Limited, he has made a supply. F Limited of Mumbai, who is an unregistered person, had promised to D Limited in October 23 to complete contract with within 3 months, but they could not. But they were not able to complete the committed contract. So D Limited received consideration for non-performance of the contract on time, as decided with a pre-written agreement. So there was a circular. This is with respect to your liquidated damages. So this is treated as supply of services. This is anyways treated as supply of services as per section 7 subsection 1 capital A read with schedule 2. It is treated as supply of services, and therefore it is taxable supply. It is also taxable supply. You have to pay the taxes. Then so this is outward supply. This is also outward supply. And in first 2 cases, we have seen it is taxable supplies. D Limited had provided service of booking of flight for employee of H Enterprises in economy class from Bagdogar to Pune, Maharashtra. So they have also given services. It is also an outward supply. They have given a services of booking aeroplanes. And how much they have charged, sir? They have charged 20,000 rupees. Is it taxable? Answer is no, it is not taxable. It is an exempt supply. Under exemption list, one of the items says if the aircraft is embarking from or terminating to northeastern states, which including Bagdogar at West Bengal, then it will be exempt. So since the aeroplane is coming from Bagdogar at West Bengal and it is economic class, therefore it is exempt. This item is exempt. You don't have to pay any taxes on this, but you will have to write a note about this. But correct, because it is, why is it exempt? You'll have to write that note. D Limited, as per exemption notification number 13/20 12/2017, it is exempt. D Limited has purchased goods worth rupees 5 lakh from R Limited registered in Gujarat on 15/3/23. Now R Limited issued a debit note on 15/1/24. When did I purchase? 15/3/23. Now R Limited issued a debit note on 15/1/24 for post delivery services to D Limited as per part of terms of sales. Now what is this point telling? Can I take input tax credit based on debit note? Yes, you can take input tax credit based on tax invoice, debit note, or any other tax paying document. So debit note is one of the tax paying document. Now the invoice pertains to March and the debit note is issued after say December month, after filing annual return. Can I take the input tax credit? Sir, answer is yes, you can definitely take input tax credit. So whatever amount is there, so on this whatever tax amount comes, that, so this is inward supply. Please note, this is about your inward supply. Can I take ITC? Sir, yes, ITC can be taken because there is a debit note and the time limit does not matter in that case. D Limited had sold one of its unit in Pune as going concern to H Limited. Now because it is sold as a going concern, this is treated as what, sir? This is an exempt supply. Though it is an outward supply, it is an exempt supply. If you sell your entire business or any part of business as a going concern, then it will be exempt. D Limited had provided services to Mr. Y for organizing exhibition in Dubai. This is also an exempt supply. It is an outward supply, but it is an exempt supply. Now, what is the provision telling? If business exhibition is happening outside India, if you provide services to a person in India, if one person in India is giving services to another person in India for a business exhibition organized outside India, then that services is exempt. So this is an exempt supply. You don't have to pay any taxes. Interstate supply of services. So this is taxable supply. You'll have to pay the taxes on that. Amount towards receipt of inward services. So this is your inward supply. So you have received services of 6 lakh rupees. So intrastate services which you have received, this is for your input tax credit. So can I take input tax credit? Definitely you can take input tax credit on this. Purchase of confectionery items. Without seeing anything else, I'll directly say no ITC because it is blocked under section 17(5). ITC on food beverages, restaurant, etc. is blocked under 17(5). So confectionery item, it is blocked. So they have given your opening ITC. They have told your tax rate is 9% CGST, SGST and 18% IGST. Whatever amount they have given are exclusive of taxes, and assume that all the conditions for taking input tax credit is fulfilled. You please tell me what is the output tax liability and how much is the input tax credit which can be taken. I have told you what is taxable, what is not taxable. Apply the rate of 9% and 18% and tell what is the total output tax. Then similarly to the opening input tax rate, add the ITC on the purchases and tell what is the total input tax. Okay. Then ABC Limited is a partnership firm registered under GST. It furnishes the following details about services provided during February. Okay. Consideration. So these are outward supply related information. So consideration received from neighboring housing cooperative society as ABC Infra agrees to install effluent plant for treatment of water. This is an exempt supply. So for treatment of wastewater, if you put this effluent plant, etc., then that supply which you are making is an exempt supply. Consideration received for distribution of passes for cricket match organized as firm's annual event. Total 500 passes were distributed. So what is the amount received? 2,42,500 divided by 500. So they have charged for 485 rupees per ticket. Now please note, so if your admission to an event, recognized sporting event or unrecognized sporting event where the value is less than 500 rupees, it will be exempt. Therefore, in the present case also, these services also will be exempt because the value is less than 500 rupees per ticket. Services given for booking air ticket in economy class from Mumbai to Manipur. Again, since it is Manipur, the aeroplane is going to Manipur, this services also will be exempt supply. Services given for construction of building to state government in relation to function interest to municipality under Article 243W. The cost of material is how much, sir? 2,79,375. Now, these services will be exempt if the cost of material is how much, sir? Up to 25% of the total supply. So total supply is 8,20,000 into 25% comes to 2,05,000. So if the cost of material is up to 2,05,000, then the services would have been exempt. Since the cost of material is more than 2,05,000, this will become taxable supply. So over here only this last point is taxable. Okay, so whatever information you are required to give. Now please note, whatever is exempt, why is it exempt? You should tell that. No, you should tell that. Okay. Next, question number 6. Question number 6 says what, sir? Question number 6 talks about question number 6 is for 5 marks. He is a registered dealer in Andhra Pradesh, trading in different types of machinery and related different services. Their aggregate turnover for preceding financial year 22-23 for sale of machinery was 1.32 crores. It was his first year, so it did not provide any services. Okay. For financial year 23-24, they were planning to provide services of 6,25,000, for which they have to purchase some raw material of 5 lakh rupees from other states. Giving the information above, can Mr. T opt for composition scheme? Can he opt for composition scheme? Can he opt for composition scheme? Now, what is the question telling? See, he is a person who is supplying only goods, and last year his turnover was 1.32 crores. Can he become a composition dealer, sir? As per section 10 subsection 1, yes, he can become composition dealer, because for Andhra Pradesh the turnover limit is how much, sir? 1.5 crores. Yes, he can become a composition dealer, but in the current year he is going to supply services of 6,25,000. So if you see section 10 subsection 2, the condition says you should not supply services if you want to become a composition dealer. However, section 10 subsection 1 has a proviso. Second proviso to section 10 subsection 1 says you can supply services up to 10% of turnover in the state or 5 lakh rupees, whichever is higher. Now my turnover in the state was 1.32 crores, so I can supply services up to 13.2 lakhs. I can supply services up to 13.2 lakhs. And how much am I planning to supply this year? Is 6.25 lakhs. Therefore, can I become a composition dealer as per section 10.1? Answer is yes, you can become a composition dealer as per section 10 subsection 1. And sir, the condition also says that he should not make interstate outward supply. No, sir. Yes, the condition nowhere says that he should not make purchases from other states. He can always make purchases from other states. So what is the answer for this? Answer is yes. Can he become a composition dealer? Answer is yes. Mr. T can opt for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1. You will have to write what is the eligibility condition under section 10 subsection 1. Also write the proviso, and you will also have to write section 10 subsection 2 condition, which is condition number 1 and condition number 3 with respect to services taken from other states, and you will have to give your conclusion. So how will I answer this question? Facts of the case, then provisions of the law, then apply the provisions, give your answer, and that is nothing but conclusion. Garima, having its permanent residence in Bhavnagar, Gujarat, purchased a car from Kiara Motors of Jaipur, Rajasthan, to take the advantage of lower registration charges and road tax. Garima took the delivery of the car from Jaipur and returned with the car to. So Garima is returned the car and returned with the car to her residence, which is Bhavnagar, Gujarat. Address of Garima recorded in the invoice by Kaira Motors mentions only the state name, which is Gujarat. Garima is an unregistered person. So this question is determine the place of supply. This question is with respect to place of supply. Recent amendment which was made in respect of place of supply. When you make a supply to an unregistered person, if the address of that unregistered person is available with you, then the place of supply will be location of that unregistered person, meaning whatever address is available. If the address of that unregistered person is not available, then the place of supply will be the location of supplier. So that provision you have to apply in this case. And then next question, very easy, recent amendment. So they have asked a question, place of supply. I told in my in the classroom that 100% 5 marks question will be asked from this topic, and they have given 5 marks question. One more question on place of supply. ACCA advertisement agency, a registered person in Nagpur, wants to display the product to its of its client at most prominent places in different states. Okay, it took right to use the space of hoarding mounted on a fixed surface attached to earth, situated at Udaipur in Rajasthan and Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, from GN Enterprises registered in Chhattisgarh. ACCA advertisement agency has exclusive right to use the space, and also to manage advertisement on this hoarding. What is the place of supply for this particular transaction? Beautiful. Now here many students will get confused, what provision should I apply, sir? Now when they use this word that it is fixed to earth, these hoardings are all attached to earth or fixed to earth, that means this is a services in relation to immobile property. This services is in relation to what's an immobile property. Then what is the place of supply? Location. The place where immobile property is located or intended to be located. If the immobile properties, and there is a proviso which says if immobile property is located at more than one places, then the place of supply shall be determined based on the value of supply, meaning it shall be taken proportionately basically. Then Mohan, a registered person in Salem, Tamil Nadu, makes intra-state supply of taxable goods worth rupees 13,15,000, including GST. This amount is including GST to a public sector undertaking. Consideration for the same was received in 5 installments. Okay. Tax rate is 9%, 9%, 18%. So now I'll remove the tax amount first. 13,50,000, 57,000 minus 18%. So if I remove the tax amount into 100 divided by 118, so the value, contract value will come to 11,50,000. Please note, don't do mistake in your life. Okay, there are students, go-based students, who do what, sir? 13.5 lakhs minus 5 lakhs minus 18% to remove GST. You should not do like that. What is the right way of doing, sir? 13,57,000 into 100 divided by 118, it will come to 11,50,000 rupees. What is your view with respect to TDS applicability? Is TDS applicable, sir? Section 51. The question is with respect to new provision which is newly added, which is section 51. Is TDS provision applicable? Answer is yes, 100% TDS provision is applicable. Since the contract value is more than, see, TDS provision says if the contract value is more than 2.5 lakhs, TDS provision is applicable. In the present case, the contract value is no more than 2.5 lakhs. Therefore, TDS provision will be applicable. And what is the period within which the TDS is required to be deposited? It should be deposited by 10th of next month. It should be deposited by 10th of next month. So TDS should be deposited by 10th of next month. Every registered person executing works contract shall keep separate accounts for works contract. List the accounts maintained. So this is the new topic which is added, accounts and records. What are the different books of accounts which are required to be maintained by a works contract person? So I mean, there are 5 records which you have to give the list of. Okay, theory question. Now this is the beauty of GST law. There will be 2-3 questions which is straight away theory. Straight away theory, you just have to write the theory. No applying your brain over here. Describe the provision related to importation of services. Oh my god, 5 marks question. Your first chapter, importation of services, section 7 subsection 1 clause B and section 7 subsection 1 clause C, read with schedule 1. Importation of services, if it is for a consideration, whether it is for business purpose or personal purpose, it is treated as supply. If it is for without consideration, it will be treated as supply only if it is imported from your related person or your another office located outside India, and if it is imported for your business purpose. List the category of the people who are exempted from e-invoicing. Who are exempted from e-invoicing, sir? Are you remember the memory technique? Government CPICs. Are government CPICs means what, sir? Government authority, government entity, cinema halls, passenger transport service provider. I for what, sir? I for government CPICs. I for insurance company, banking company, G for goods transport agencies, and S for SEZ units. No act or proceedings of GST Council. So this is a question from your first chapter, introduction chapter. Oh, they have asked a question for 3 marks from first chapter. Normally the weightage of that chapter is 2 to 3 marks. Luckily they have asked a question. No tax or no act or proceedings of GST Council shall be invalid merely because of there are 3 points over here. Merely because their composition is not correct, they have not been appointed, the members are not appointed with proper in the proper manner, etc. Some story they have given. Commissioner has notified some specified persons to maintain additional accounts and documents as mentioned in Rule 56. Agent defined in section 2 subsection 5 of CGST Act is one of them. What are the additional documents which are required to be kept by an agent? What are the additional documents? So there are totally 4 documents which he has to keep. You'll have to give the list of all those 4 documents which agent has to keep. Now if you ask me, till now whatever discussion we have done, correct, we have discussed 30 marks MCQs plus 35 marks of this descriptive questions of GST. If you ask me how was this question paper till now, sir, I would say MCQ GST though it was dead easy, meaning it was like walk, they say no cakewalk, it was correct, it was very easy. So 15 marks in that MCQ, nowhere it is, I mean easy. And income tax MCQ, there were some MCQs, if you know the provisions of default regime, only 115 BSc, those MCQs, so straight away you know the answers. So income tax also, I would say up to 10 marks the MCQs were very easy. So in MCQ out of 30, getting 25 should not be a problem. Getting 25 should not be a problem. Maybe one, see, I'm reducing 5 marks because maybe some people would have forgot that concept of pre-construction period. Maybe some people would have forgot the clubbing one question was, with respect to clubbing was etc. So only I'm taking out this 5 marks. But apart from that, the MCQ part was very easy. Sir, what about this GST, sir? GST part also was easy. GST part also was very easy because there are all straightforward question. This is a straightforward question. These two questions are straightforward question. This question is straightforward question. If you ask me, 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15 marks is straightforward. You see the book, you see the, you write the answer. Nothing you should no using brain at all. Correct? So the 15 marks was straightforward question. Just if you know the provisions, I mean, if you have read the theoretical part, straight away they have asked the question. And this 5 marks TDS question, very easy question. Place of supply question, very easy question. Then this question, dead easy question. And maybe here some people would have got confused between 1 or 2, but because it is taxable or exempt, definitely 2-3 marks to anyone will get. And in first question, maybe there will be a confusion, but I personally felt this question paper was not tough till now. Till now it was not tough. Let us now go to income tax. Sir, I started with income tax, sir. So I felt the question paper was very tough, sir. That is your headache. Now please see, let us see how, what is income tax law telling, and whether the question paper was actually tough from income tax point of view. Those who have started with income, normally I say don't start with income tax because income tax will have linkage. Because of linkage, no, leakage will happen. Your brain will start leaking the provisions and you will forget everything. Okay. Exactly in 1 hour we have completed 65 marks discussion. Of course, I'll not take too much time now. I'll take around 15-20 minutes and close this discussion. Okay, Mr. Raman, a resident aged 62 years, is engaged in the business of manufacturing. Oh, please note. If you remember in classroom, what do I say? Whenever it is a manufacturing, please make sure if you are a person who is in the business of manufacturing, additional depreciation concept will come if you opt for regular scheme. And manufacturing and sales of motorbike spares as a proprietor, he prepares his accounts under mercantile basis. Okay, the business is carried out on ground floor of 2-storied commercial building owned by him. Okay, return on value of this building is 8 lakh rupees as on 1st April 23. Okay, he prepares his accounts on accrual basis. They have already given that. The profit and loss account for the previous year ended 31st March 24 is 9,25,000 rupees is his net profit before depreciation and taxation. So this is before depreciation, before taxation. So no depreciation has been given. 9,25,000 we should subtract depreciation. There is no depreciation given. Traveling expenses of 2,40,000 being expenditure incurred for foreign travel to Taiwan for attending business exhibition and meeting vendors, out of which 40,000 was incurred in Indian rupees and 2 lakh rupees was incurred in foreign currency. Okay, Mr. Raman spent 10 days in Taiwan, out of which 4 days was utilized for attending marriage. Oh, problem is there. If you are, vendor son's marriage is not your business related, correct? So over here, out of 10 days, 4 days was for your personal purpose. So proportionately 2,40,000 into 6 by 12 will be allowed, and 6 by 10 will be allowed, and 2.4 lakhs into 4 by 10 will be disallowed. This amount will be disallowed. Anyways, let me not go to computation part. Administration expenses include 9,525 paid towards interest for delay in deposit of GST. It is also allowed. This is allowed, no problem. This Okay, general expenses include 3,88,000 paid to a non-resident, fee for technical services without deduction of taxes. If you pay to a non-resident without deducting TDS, 100% of that expenses is disallowed as per section 40A I or 40A1. 40A1, it is 100% disallowed. Fire, and when will it be allowed? It will be allowed on payment basis whenever you are making the payment. I mean, where you pay the TDS in that year, it will be allowed. Fire insurance premium of 66,000 for entire building remained unpaid until 31st March. Array, fire insurance premium, it remained unpaid. Now please note, fire insurance premium, I don't care whether it is paid or not, because I am following accrual basis, this expenses will be allowed. This will be allowed. Only in case of health insurance, they say it should be paid within the due date of 43B. Expenditure of 75,000 was paid. Expenditure of 75,000 was paid to Scientific Research Association under section 35. Out of 75,000, 50,000 was utilized for purchase of land. I don't care, because I have given the donation. In case of donation, there is no problem at all. Entire 75,000 fully allowed. I don't care where that research association how that research association is using the money. So 100% of this amount will be allowed. Then he let out first floor of his commercial building to Mr. Aman on April 23 and received 35,000 rupees rent per month. Municipal taxes is 20,000 rupees to the building were paid equally by both Raman and Aman. So only 50% will be allowed, meaning whatever is paid by tenant will be allowed. Rent received was credited and municipal taxes of 10,000 rupees was debited to profit and loss account. This is wrong, correct? The rent amount and municipal tax amount should not be shown in your profit and loss account. It should not be shown in your profit and loss account since it is showed in profit and loss account. What will I do, sir? Sir, since it is showed in profit and loss account, I will have to subtract now. So whatever rent amount I'll subtract, and municipal tax amount I'm going to add. He sold a piece of land of 44 lakh rupees. He acquired the land for 10 lakh rupees on this date. So sale is happening within 2 years. So it is a short-term capital gain. The gain of 4 lakh rupees was credited to profit and loss account. You'll have to add it back. I mean, you'll have to subtract it from your net profit. So 4 lakh rupees. Okay. Additional information. What do you mean by additional information, sir? Meaning this is extra information. This is nowhere related to your profit and loss account, meaning no adjustment has been done for these items. Mr. Raman purchased raw material from Paul Industries, a micro enterprises, for 49,000 on 10th of March. However, payment to Paul Industries was made on 5th of April by check. No written agreement for payment existed between Paul and Raman. Now please note, this is a point with respect to this 43B. A new point was added, 43BH. If you don't make the payment to MSME enterprises within 45 days, then that expenses will be disallowed. And if you don't have any agreement, the payment should be made within 15 days. So in the present case, first case, did he have agreement, sir? No agreement was there. So can I say this 49,000 rupees will be disallowed as per this provision? Mr. Raman, another supplier, another supplier, Carl Industries, a small enterprises with whom also there was no written agreement. The payment was made in cash. Now please note this, since it is cash, 40A3 will come over here. 40A3 will be coming, and this is also disallowed. So both the amounts which you have paid, that is not allowed as your business expenses. Raman acquired registered trademark on 15th July 23 for 2 lakh rupees. Raman started using the trademark for his business. When did he purchase? 15 July 2023. He started using it from 15th of January. Depreciation will be given from the date of put to use, not from the date of purchase. Okay, from this date you will get depreciation. Mr. Raman omitted to enter any transaction related to this, so no problem, you will get depreciation at the rate of 25% for, I mean, whatever 50 depreciation amount is there, 50% you will get because it is less than 180 days. Mr. Raman bought a car for personal purpose. Mr. Raman bought a car for personal use on 12th April 2020 for 5,40,000 rupees. He started using this car for his business purpose on 1st of April. So this car was purchased in 2020. Oh, during COVID, he purchased this car 5,40,000. He started using this for his business purpose from 1st April 2023. As on that date, the market value of the car was 2,10,000. Assume the rate of depreciation is 15%. Now here your actual cost provision will come, and what is the actual cost provision telling? In this case, actual cost will be how much, sir? Actual cost which you are supposed to take will be 5,40,000 rupees. You ignore what is the market value, etc. 5,40,000, and therefore you can apply the depreciation of 15% on that 5,40,000. He incurred 2,50,000 rupees for purchase of new machinery used in production of spare parts on 15th of May. Now here I will get normal depreciation as well as additional depreciation. Both the depreciation will be given because it is used in production premises. He paid tuition fees of 25,000. Okay, tuition fees for daughter, ATC deduction will be allowed. During the year, Mr. Raman incurred 9,500 in cash for preventive health checkup. ATD, you will get a deduction of maximum 5,000 rupees. It does not matter whether you are paying in cash or you are paying by check. Donation paid to political party donation 80GGB. Arey Gube 80GGB 20,000. It will be allowed. Okay, so accordingly you can work out the answer. I mean, anyways, discussion is important over here, not working out the answer. Mr. Madan, a citizen of India and a Karta of HUF is employed in P Limited. Please note, I have a practice of reading the company name like this, P Limited. I don't read the company name fully. I don't know why. And he is drawing a monthly salary of 65,500 in India. On June 1, 2023, he purchased one residential house property in Mumbai for 18 lakh rupees in his individual capacity. The market value of the property was 32 lakhs and the stamp duty value of this property was 23 lakhs. Okay, so here, oh nice, here gift provision will come. I have purchased inadequate consideration, so gifting provision will come wherein the stamp duty value is more than 110% of purchase price and the difference is more than 50,000. that difference will be taxable. Okay, so here that gift provision will be coming and 5 lakh rupees will be taxable under 56(2)(10). On August 31st 23, he was transferred to branch office of P Limited in USA and he left India on 1st of September. So now what is happening over here? He is leaving India for employment outside India. So when you are leaving India for employment outside India, 182 days condition will be applicable and not, your 182 days condition will be applicable for checking whether you are a resident or not resident. And he managed business of HUF from USA when he was not in India. He had also gone out of India for 99 days and 201 days in the previous year, 22-23 and 21-22. He had never gone out of India before this period. So this information is just to know whether he is a resident and ordinary resident or resident but not ordinary resident. He visited India from 1st January 24 to 15 January for training project and he received a salary. Now because of this provision, what will happen, sir? He will be called as deemed resident. So what is the provision telling? If you are a person, if you are an Indian citizen who is coming to India, who stays in India if you are an Indian resident who comes to India for a limited period of time and after that you go back and you are not a resident of any other country, then you will be deemed to be resident of India provided your income from India is up to 15 lakh rupees. If your income is more than 15 lakh rupees. Now in the present case, I don't think his income will be more than 15 lakh rupees. Okay. Anyways, before he was transferred. Now, Mr. Rajiv, is it not the same question? Page number. Mr. Rajiv, one of his friend gifted him a sculpture of market value 45,100. It is not treated as it is not taxable. Because why, sir? It is not taxable because value is not more than 50,000. Determine the residential status and of Madan and HUF. So for HUF, can I say, because it is partly controlled India, it will be treated as resident? See, for some period of time before he went outside India, it was controlled from India. So HUF is resident, and Madan is what, sir? Madan will be treated as resident if he has stayed for more than 182 days in current year. So in current year, you can just do the calculation, okay? And what is the gross total income? Assuming he has opted out of default regime, he has not following default regime. So what will be his gross total income, sir? His gross total income 5 lakh rupees is this income, and your salary income is 65,500. This is monthly basis, correct? Into, now please note, this is your gross salary. You'll have to give standard deduction of 50,000. You'll have to do that computation of salary, and whatever salary he was receiving when he was outside India, that also you'll have to take into consideration. Now see, into 7. So this salary computation you will have to do till the time he was in India by taking that amount 65,500, and after, when he left outside India, you will take $2,500 into rupees 70 per dollar. You'll take his salary to be equal to 1,75,000 rupees. Now the deemed resident provision will come because his income from his total income is how much, sir? More than 15 lakh rupees. So he will be treated as resident if it is more than, he will be treated as deemed resident of India. Answer the following question. PQR and Company, a proprietary firm of Mr. Yogesh, paid an amount of 30,500 to Mr. Amit, a resident individual aged 45 years, on this date, towards fee for professional services. Subsequently, another payment of 60,000 was due to Amit on 30th January. The tax was not deducted on both of these transactions. Mr. Amit has filed his income tax return on May 2nd, taking into account the professional services received. Okay, anyways, so what are the tax obligation of PQR? Now what happens over here, sir? Now what has happened in this case, sir? Normally 40, so here 40A IA is applicable. If you make a payment to a resident without deducting TDS, then 30% without deducting TDS, then 30% of that expenses will be disallowed. Now, however, if that person to whom you have made the payment, if he has considered that income and has paid taxes on that income, then it will be treated as that you have made the payment of TDS in that year in which he has filed his income tax return. So what will happen in the current year? 30% will be disallowed, and in the next year, the 30% whatever is disallowed can be taken by you. Nice question it is. Fast Limited is an Indian car manufacturer. During financial year 23-24, it sold cars for 150 lakhs, 1.5 crores to Race Limited, a distributor of car, where the sale price of each car was 1.75 lakhs. The turnover for financial year 22-23 of Fast Limited is 15 crores, which is more than 10 crores. Okay, and Race Limited, it is 8 crores. What is the TDS and TCS provision? Now this is so if you make a supply whose value is more than 50 lakh rupees, then you will have to deduct TDS or collected taxes at 1% on value in excess of on value in excess of what, sir? On value in excess of 50 lakh rupees. So in the present case, TCS is required to be deducted on 1 crore rupees. Since it is 150 lakhs, on 50 lakhs no TCS or TDS, and on 100 lakhs it will be required to be deducted at 1%. Who has to deduct, sir? This Fast Limited has to deduct. Particulars given below are of Mr. Radhe's income posted in private company in Delhi. Okay, some information. So this is with respect to Radhe, 47-year-old. Basic salary. So this is a question on salary, 6 marks question they have asked on salary. Basic pay they have given 35,000, and after that it is 40,000 rupees. They have given dearness allowance 30% of basic pay, 54% form parts of retirement benefit. Leave encashment they have given. Nice leave encashment they have given, which is exempt under section 1010 AA. How much is exempt? Some computation you have to do. Now please note, this leave encashment he has received during employment. Since it is received during employment, it is fully taxable. When it is received during employment, it is fully taxable. He has received salary in advance. Advance salary is also taxable in the year, when in the month in which you are receiving. Then they have given the question with respect to rent-free accommodation. Now basically this question, if you see, it is basically on rent-free accommodation only. These points, so we know that all these points which they have given is all taxable. Rent-free accommodation, there was an amendment with respect to rent-free accommodation in the present case, in the recent time, correct? So this question has been asked because of that amendment. Rent-free accommodation, his employer has given rent-free accommodation which is fully furnished from 1st April 2019. This house was owned by the employer, so 15% or rent, whichever is, so 15% of rent will be taken as, so where are you staying? Where are you staying, sir? You're staying in Delhi. You're staying in Delhi, meaning the population is more than 40 lakhs, correct? So that provision will be applicable. During the previous year 1920, the perquisites of such rent-free accommodation valued at 39,000. The employer also provided him with a gardener to maintain this house. The salary paid to the gardener, because it is paid by the employer, it will be added. Furniture and other appliances were also given by the employer, which were bought at a cost of 1,50,000. So over here 10% of the cost will be added to this rent-free accommodation. Electricity charges and water charges for 4,000 rupees was paid by the employer, therefore this also will be added. So all these things will be added to your rent-free accommodation value. Why have they given? Okay. The employer also spent 50,000 rupees for refreshers course. This is exempt. This refreshers course concept is exempt because it is for upgrading the employees' skills. It is exempt. During the previous year, his wife was admitted to notified hospital. Okay, no problem. For treatment of her kidney disease, the hospital bill was at 3,50,000 rupees paid by the employer. No problem, it will be allowed since it is notified hospital. Now here you are supposed to make an assumption that it is government notified hospital. You are required to compute taxable salary. Mr. Raj is a resident, age is 69 years. Sold his urban agriculture land. So this concept is this question is with respect to capital gain. Urban agriculture land for 75 lakh rupees to Mr. Vipul, when the stamp duty value was 95 lakhs. Problem is there. Stamp duty value section 50 C concept will come over here. However, the agreement to sell the land was entered on 15th of July, and Vipul gave 4 lakh in advance through IMPS. The stamp duty value as on date of agreement to sell. So for me, this stamp duty value will be taken as full value of sale consideration. Raj paid 1% sale consideration to the broker. So 1% will be selling expenses. 1% of what, sir? 1% of 75 lakh will be selling expenses. The land was purchased by him for 10.85 lakhs and it was used for agriculture purpose from the date of purchase. So here you will also get the benefit of what, sir? Exemption. If you invest the money, you will get a benefit of exemption. Mr. Urban agriculture land, section 54B, urban agriculture land benefit you will get. Mr. Raj purchased another agriculture land in rural area, okay, for 40 lakh rupees. This land was sold by him on March 12, 24 for 45 lakh rupees. No problem, because our rural agricultural land is not a capital asset, and he invested the entire sale proceeds with fixed deposits. No problem. Capital gain, compute the capital gain. I hope you can compute the capital gain. You should take sale price as 85 lakh rupees, reduce 7.5 lakh rupees. You will get your net sale consideration. From that you will have to reduce indexed cost of acquisition. Okay, you will have to take index cost of acquisition. Then Mr. Suraj, 39 year, his wife is 35 year and son is 12-year-old. So Suraj is there, wife is there, son is there. So they have given the income and loss details of all the three people. For Mr. Suraj, he received a salary from partnership firm 16,15,000 rupees. This will be treated as business income in his hands, and this is within the limit they are telling. So his brought forward house loss is 96,000. Current year house loss is 2,30,000 rupees. Okay, interest on enhanced compensation only 50% will be taxable. It relates to property. Some stories they have given. Only 50% will be taxable interest. He gift from grandfather's younger sister. My grandfather is my relative. Grandfather's younger sister is not my relative. Correct? So gift from her by check. Anyways, it is taxable. It is taxable. Dividend from a listed company. It is taxable. On 1st December 23, Mr. Suraj received 75 lakh rupees as maturity from Life Insurance Corporation. Premium which was paid by him was 6 lakh rupees. 65 lakh rupees into 10%, which is 6.5 lakhs. Since the premium paid by him is less than 10% of sum assured, therefore whatever amount he has received will be exempt under section 1010D. This amount which he has received at the time of maturity is exempt under section 1010D. Now, with respect to Mega, current year business loss of Mega is 8,10,000. She carried on the business with the funds which Suraj gifted to her. Husband's money, clubbing provisions will come into picture. Okay, so loss proportionate, the loss will be allowed to be set off by that person who, Suraj. Mrs. Mega purchased a house property from, now I hope your clubbing provision says that amount should be there in your opening capital as on first day of the previous, etc. Some stories are there over there. Mega purchased a house property from her Stridhan and gifted the same to her minor son Dev out of love and affection. Too much love and affection is very hazardous for income tax law. The fair market value of house was 51 lakh rupees. The house value was how much, sir? 51 lakh rupees. Here also clubbing provisions will come. The income will be clubbed in the hands of Miss Mega. Rent received from this house was 35,000 rupees by Mr. Dev. It will be clubbed in the hands of Mega, and she will also get the benefit of 1,500 clubbing of minors income. Compute the total income of Suraj, Mega and Dev. And Suraj is opting for default regime. Nice. That is 115 BSc, and Mega and Dev are opting out of default regime. Nice. Fantastic provision it is. Okay. So this default regime point for Suraj only, that is relevant only for one thing, that is set off of this thing. I think apart from other things, apart from that, there is nothing else which will be impacted because of the default regime. Vegetable Limited filed its income tax return on 15th December 23. On 2nd January 24, the accountant of Vegetable realized that he had forgotten to claim a genuine expenditure of 15 lakh rupees. He wants to, so this is for assessment year 23-24. He forgot to claim. He wants to revise his return. Can he revise the return? Answer is yes, you can revise the return. Why, sir? What is the time limit? The accountant, when did he file, sir? On 2nd of January. So this is for assessment year 23-24. Wait. Assessment year, how much? Assessment is 23-24. So previous year 22-23. So the question is with respect to previous year 22-23. So for this, what is the date within which revised return is required to be filed? 3 months before the end of assessment year. So assessment year is going to end on 31st of March 24. 3 months before this is 31st of December 23. You should file your revised return. When are you filing the revised return? On 2nd of January 24. Answer is no. You cannot file your revised return. You should, if you want to file, you should file within that 31/12/23. Mahindra, a resident individual, age 45, earned a salary of 2 crore rupees. He also earned dividend from unlisted shares of 4 lakh rupees. He wants to file income tax return by income tax preparer. Can he do, sir? Yes, definitely he can do. Income tax return preparer cannot file the income tax return for those people whose books of accounts are subject to audit. Rani, an Indian resident aged 34 years, did not file her income tax return for, okay, so this is the, second question. Either you answer this or you answer that. The Rani, Indian citizen, did not file her income tax return for last 3 years. She gives you the following information for last 3 years: 21-22, 22-23, and 23-24. She approaches you to file your file her updated return. Now updated return. So anyways, income details are not required too much. Updated return provision you have to write over here. What is updated return telling? You can file your updated return provided you file within 24 months from the end of that. From the end of the assessment year to which that information relates, and that updated return should be you can file only if there is increase in income or only if there is an income which you are showing in that updated return. So that provisions with respect to updated return you have to write. Yeah, so this is all about your income tax law. Also, we have taken almost around 1 hour 30 minutes to complete this entire discussion. Thanks a lot for staying till end. I hope you have enjoyed watching this. Do ask your questions if you have any questions in the comment section. I will try to reply all your answers. And do share this with your friends. Happy learning. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy.